Sup gamers, Patrick King Minion Demon here. Today we're going to do a new video series called Discord AMA. AMA is short for Ask Me Anything, and it's a new channel I added in my Discord that's relatively related to Monster Hunter, but mainly connected to a Facebook group called Monster Hunter Hell. Speaking of Monster Hunter Hell, this is a perfect time for me to shill it, in a sense. Monster Hunter Hell is a shitposting Facebook group for Monster Hunter fans, both new and old. While you can post whatever you want, it has to be Monster Hunter related, or recently Dauntless related. Because, you know, people love playing shitty hunting games that aren't Monster Hunter. But in any case, we will begin the video. I was originally going to do text-to-speech, but because of my autism and not understanding how any of this shit works, I'm just going to read aloud the questions and start from there. So yeah, let's begin. What do you think of how YouTube recommends ancient videos for no reason? This one isn't ancient, but I just got recommended this one. It's actually a pretty good vid. Honestly, the only ancient videos I really like seeing in my YouTube feed is either probably a decade ago. Yeah, like, I remember this one video called Not Today, Motherfucker, and that was like an instant classic to me. Kite Master Kai Jets, Gotcha Bitch. If you're not familiar with that video, it's a true Monster Hunter classic. Gotcha Bitch! What was your first exposure to memes like? What nation do you believe would initiate World War III? My first exposure to memes was Keyboard Cat and Rage Comics. Trollface exclusively. I had two separate pieces of wood, and I would make a troll face. I made two troll faces and a Forever Alone face on them. And it was probably the funnest time I ever had in school. Unfortunately, no one knew what memes were back in the day, which was fine. So, like, no one got what I made, but they still thought, like, I put effort into it. So they were like, good job. I'm like, thanks. As for the nation that would initiate World War III, that would more likely be America, just under Israel's influence, because Trump and Israel are really good buddies. Benjamin Netanyahu really has Trump under his control, in a sense, like war-wise. That's why whenever Trump was like, yeah, we're gonna start shit with Iran, and some news was like, what? But yeah, the whole Europe immigrant situation doesn't get its shit together, because I don't understand why in this society people are cool with illegal immigrants and letting them pillage and rape women and children. Makes no fucking sense to me. It's kind of disgusting to me, in a sense. If I ever see that shit in my state, I'd probably go ballistic. The moment you lose a way to defend yourself, you are just a tool for the globalist propaganda. If your mother and your girlfriend switched bodies and you had to have sex with one of them, which one would you choose? Your mother and your girlfriend's body, or your girlfriend and your mother's body? Considering I don't have a girlfriend besides the two in my bed, yeah, this is a hard question, because I'm not really cool with incest. And I'd more than likely just fuck my body pillows, because they're the best girlfriends in my anime world. How do I make my peepee go big? All you do is just jack off once a day, once a week, once a month, and your peener will grow in no time. What do you think of Iceborne coming out as a paid expansion at almost the price of a new game, with plans of future expansion with phrasing such as biggest map so far being in the Iceborne trailer, as well as the general consumer reactions and Capcom's response to potential backlash or praise? At this point, if you're a Monster Hunter fan, and I'm not talking about World, because World fans, they're such ignorant normies that I can't stand whatever comes out of their mouth 50% of the time. Like, most of them talk about defense builds, support builds, just really stupid garbage that has nothing to do with Monster Hunter. It's just forcing roles into a game that's literally about killing monsters as fast as possible. But to answer the question mainly, this is not new. Expansions for Monster Hunter and paying for it has never been new in the series. It'll never stop, because that's how Capcom gets their money in the Monster Hunter series. They release a base game for their next generation, and then once they see how the reception is, they'll keep adding new shit. That's why I'm literally expecting Underwater in 5th gen. Like, you have to add Underwater in 5th gen at this point. Like, it's a brand new engine, and if they don't, then they're lazy, and I'll criticize them to the end. So I'm pretty neutral, in all honesty. Patrick King, Demon John Minion. Why is cold refrigerated Italian food better than fresh Italian food? Honestly, because refrigeration allows food to just stay decent, at a decent temperature, and tastes good. There was a time where I would just eat leftover cold pizza for days, never reheat it, and it tasted delicious. It wasn't until like a month later that I got tired of eating cold pizza that I wanted to eat something new. So I lived off of ramen. Why Minions? 3 reasons. 1. The memes. 2. My family loves them. 3. I can literally mix my autism and whatever ideas I have in mind within them, because they will always be universally hated for no reason, despite the fact that humans and society are so connected to Minions that they hate it, and they never want to admit that. What is your social security number? Ask China. There is only one question to access the character of a man. What do you like more, tits or ass? Honestly, tits, mainly because I don't have a really big preference when it comes to boobs. I really just enjoy the shape of breasts in general. I like caressing them. I like twisting the nipples, because that is what gets a woman wet, besides, you know, intelligence and being a piece of shit towards them. What do you think of this pattern I made? Would you wear it on a shirt? Yeah, honestly I would. So PM me it if you want. Did you think the 7-page Muda Rush was done justice in the anime? I don't know. Let's find out. Honestly, yeah, I think it was really well done. Could have been a minute long? Sure, but 40 seconds is good. Why is the person below me gay like your mom? My mom's straight. I don't think she likes the taste of pussy. Plus, sexuality is a lie. MHGU DLC when? I think all the DLC for Generations Ultimate has came out already, and people at this point are just grinding for talismans and hunting whatever monsters they love, because nostalgia. Do you think the game title of Dauntless was based off Monster Hunter Gen's Dauntless pasta? I mean, considering Monster Hunter Generations came out in 2016 while Dauntless came out in 2018, it's very possible. It's a very interesting coincidence. It's also a coincidence that people are just sucking the dick out of Dauntless because it's a shitty game. Why do Dauntless NPC look like the offspring of Indians and Native Americans? If you got a harem, how would you support their children? Being president doesn't count. For the first question, It's mainly because Dauntless NPCs and the game in general is just terribly awful looking. It is supposed to be an inspiration from Monster Hunter, but it doesn't have the flavor or the creativity of Monster Hunter. It just copies the hunting formula and then pushes microtransactions into it. And the only people who deny this shit are people who buy the Founders Pack for $90 whenever the Dauntless Alpha was still in development. And even then, like, defending this game is really pointless. The only people who defend it are either moronic, mindless drones or people that are been paid to promote the game. And I know so many people who have been paid to promote this shitty game. As for the second question, simple. I would work a job. I would pay bills. I would make sure my harem is A-OK. Why doesn't Dauntless have a scar from Fortnite yet in a collab event yet? I really don't understand this question. What would you do if one day you looked up to the sky and there was the face of God and he was blushing and making kissy faces at you and being flustered? You look away before looking back, but because of this response, God got pissed off and his giant rage-filled face started rushing towards you. What would you do in this situation? I really would have to see that happen before my very eyes, because my concept of God is both agnostic and nihilistic. Like, I used to be a really edgy atheist as an adolescent teen. Then I became a nihilist as like a teen getting into college. And then recently I'm just like, well, people believe in God. Then, yeah, alright, I'll work around that. Because at this point, hating people for their religious beliefs, it's really pointless to me unless it's Islam. Because in Islam, if you don't actually believe in the religion, you're labeled an infidel and killed. And if anyone tries to argue that or disagree with it, they're defending a dangerous ideology, and that religion doesn't deserve to be defended. Do you agree that the problem with the key to heaven, it opens the door to the lobster display at the local market basket of flowers? I don't know how to answer this question, besides, yes. Will Dauntless have a Fortnite burger for a max potion? If Sharia law somehow takes over the world, how will the meat industry create a knife big enough to maintain the meat quota? For the first question, it's possible. I mean, the Epic store now has Dauntless, I believe, and the Epic Games company is pretty much a shill to China, taking your data and all that bullshit. So yeah, they might just add a Fortnite burger because of how cheap both games are and how easily manipulative the player base is for not thinking. As for the second question, I don't even think the meat industry would exist, considering Sharia law is just a mess, and I really hope it never comes to America, because if that's the case, people have to exercise their Second Amendment well. Which one do you think is a better platform for communities? Facebook, where you can be zucked for whatever reason, or Discord, which has a bias towards furries and bans you if you try to criticize their degeneracy? For a guy who has been post-blocked more times than I can count, create so many accounts just to run Facebook pages and to keep in contact with people, I would probably use Discord if more local folk that I know use Discord. I unfortunately use both because I moderate both things on both sites. I help moderate groups, I help moderate my own Discord, and they're both not better platforms. They have a lot of criticism, and nobody wants to focus on that criticism. Not even the corporations want to focus on that criticism. And whenever they try and appeal to censorship, that causes a lot of problems within both corporations and social media sites. So to answer your question, they're neither. Neither are both better platforms. They're both terrible, but I use them anyways because it's a way of communicating and compromising. If weed is made legal nationwide, do you think it should be allowed to be near schools and government buildings or no? Weed should just, yeah, weed should be allowed anywhere because, let's face it, if everyone was high all the time, I don't think people would give a shit. The way I see it, we need to see results. If weed is really toxic in these environments, I really don't think they would be. I mean, Colorado's booming with success ever since legalizing weed. So I'm hoping in the next, I don't know, before a decade even, that weed becomes legal here. But I'm not pushing it too far. If anything, I'll just go back to Canada for weed because California is a liberal, illegal immigration shithole. What do you think will be returning for Monster Hunter World Iceborne? Honestly, more brute wyverns, Piscine wyverns. And I'm hoping leviathans. Like, just add underwater combat already. Jesus fuck Capcom. Do you think Iceborne could potentially be a scam? Do you think Capcom will try to shill now that Monster Hunter is their #1 title? Monster Hunter has always been their #1 title. That's a lot of things Capcom fans don't seem to get. Like, Monster Hunter is the reason why Capcom is still alive at this point. And then, thanks to World's success, a lot of their other game series was booming with success. Because Capcom was really in the shitter because of Street Fighter V and all their fucking paid DLCs and other games. Like, I remember playing Ashura's Wrath and being fucking annoyed that I had to pay for the ending. Even though, like, people said you can grind for it. But I'm like, why would I want to impossibly grind for something that should have already been in the game to begin with? But, yeah. If Iceborne becomes a scam to the sense where there isn't double the monsters, there isn't, like, a lot to do, and it's just, you know, basic world before Devil Joe and other DLC monsters came out, yeah, I can admit that to being a scam, and I would address it immediately. Because I'm not kissing Capcom's ass. I don't kiss anyone's ass except for my own. Last but not least, how does this image make you feel? It just reminds me of the mid-2000s and its cringe not being... I mean, it was cringe, but people who hate Fortnite are the same people who probably rock this. So yeah, I'm really hoping you enjoyed all my questions that have been answered. I will have another Ask Me Anything next Monday. So people who watch the video and want to ask more questions, feel free to comment in the Discord server. Discord server will be in the description below. Otherwise, have a good day.